So how you been? Long time, innit? Long time. How you been? Good to see you're back watching the video. Really glad to be back making one. Sip of juice there for the working man. That was for you. I have missed you. Some of you are tweeting me and telling me you've missed me too, and that fills me up with a lovely warm feeling. So thank you very much for it. So, do you want an explanation for why the videos haven't been made? I'll give you a really brief one. Work has been mental. I coach football. My football season started back. My car's just been crazy. I pulled money out of my index to pay for my car. I think I'd mentioned I was doing that already anyway, but tyres, brakes, lights, all needed pulled out and replaced. It was very expensive, and thanks to the good people at Football Index for providing me with this platform, I had money that I could easily access to pay for such an unforeseen expense, which was lovely, lovely, lovely. Now, we also did deposit quite heavily for the deposit bonus. We put in a big juicy £1,000 just to get the 10% on, basically. I'm still sitting on that whale. I've put it all into one player, and he's been kind of yo-yoing. I was waiting for him to get about 10-15% up after the cut-off for the promotion and then sell him. It got to that and I thought, you know what, there's a good couple of fixtures on the horizon. Could I get him a bit further? Then the dividend policy thing got announced and I thought, well, if I hold him till that, I should do pretty well. And he's about 5% down as we speak right now. I'm not going to tell you who it is because I don't want to influence anything or whatever. So when I show you my portfolio, all you're going to see is I hold 12 players. One of them is the whale. Another 11 is my fantasy football strategy, which is doing pretty well right now with the guys like De Bruyne. We sold Pjanic. About, I don't know, I messaged Connor at FI Manager when I done it. I think it was maybe about, it's off the back of the dividend policy announcement. It got to like 215 or something. And I just basically had my eyes on somebody else and I thought, well, I can see him, Pjanic, getting to about £2.50, something like that. Maybe a bit higher on a day, for hold that price for a bit. And he's just ran away with it. Now, the problem with... I'll go on to the good stuff, sorry guys, I'm getting into old habits, just rambling. But the problem with forecasting, where you think somebody's price might end up, is that is predicated on the footy, the market cap, being stagnant. With that ever growing, then your forecasts have to be ever growing as well, and that's why you can't be down on yourself too much. I look at Pjanic and I think, oh, I've sold him at 216, he's now 280, oh, poor me. I don't think like that because I could quite easily have went the opposite way, you know. He's older, he's not going to transfer from Juventus. He's probably get into the Euros with Bosnia, and he'll probably have a good Champions League run with Juventus, and he'll probably bag his... He has won a dividend as well since I sold him. I think he got a treble match day or a double match day in the internationals or something. You know, so you can't win them all, guys. But the whole point is like, when you buy somebody, like we picked up Pjanic at 123. So, yeah, pretty much right at the beginning of this 3-month graph. And then to sell him, not at the big spike that we're on now, but on that spike there, you know, it's not a bad trade, is it? You know, far from it. You know, it was like 70%, 80% increase, I think we got on him, which was nice. And we basically, when we sold Pjanic, we brought in Ruben Neves. With the Euros, he's going to have a lot of transfer spec this summer coming, and for 145 we picked him up for. I'm happy to buy him now at 145 and hold him for, say, 9 months, a year, whatever it might be. So I don't know if you know this, but there was a dividend policy review or something. Something like that happened tonight. So if you're not aware, you probably are if you're watching the video, but they've changed it from single, double and treble match days to what we're going to call a Lucy, a bronze, a Bernardo, a silver, and a David, a gold, right? So match days and the dividends of... You've still got the old table here, which is nice for comparison if you're not too familiar on what the old dividends, you know, if you're a bit newer and you're not, you can recite the dividend table off the top of your head with your eyes closed. So the double, the Bernardo match day is basically overall had a 1p increase to the forward, midfield and defenders. The medias are all now 3p, and I think the Starmans, I'll need to check. I just looked at the headlines really, guys. I'm trying to do this live, and while I've got time, I thought I have to do a video tonight. And then the treble match day, or the David Gold, the David is up to 8p, which is incredible. I think a lot of people expected it to go 246 with single, double, treble. But 8p is absolutely amazing. Now the thing with that is, right, it's really easy to get excited about it, and you can see the market's booming. A lot of people are excited because it is more dividends, bottom line. There's more money getting returned for the shares that you own for winning those. Now, the problem with that is a treble match day is a lottery. If you've been around here long enough, you'll know to win on a treble match day, there is an element of luck involved in terms of who's on form and how the points fall for people, if it's a match winning goal, these kind of things. So that kind of keeps Football Index in that gambling kind of realm, because you can't buy somebody and go, they're going to win that treble match day easily. It's just not possible. You could predict that and it could happen, but that is a gamble, So they're weighing heavily towards the treble match days. They're trying to take, I think, a wee bit away of the market's tendencies recently to chase the fixture schedule and find out who's got all the singles, because the single match days, by and large, the tables remain the same. Now, what it has done is it's put the Bernardo match day, the silver match day, up from 3p up to 4p. So that's an increase of 33% on that match day alone. When we had the last change to like the share split, and when they did the share split, obviously the shares you owned were chopped into threes, but they also had to recompensate the dividend table because they couldn't have fractions of pennies, obviously, as a reward. That doesn't interest people. I said at that time the double match days became much more valuable, and it had, and again the double match days became even more valuable. Now the thing with that is double match days are fairly rare because of the amount of matches required to activate those bonuses, and especially if it is a low double match day, maybe 5 or 6 matches, you're at the bottom end of that scale, then you can get much closer to predicting, do you know what, well, Barcelona are the big team playing that day, they're playing second bottom, otherwise it's 3 mid-table teams, and this team and that team, whatever, there's a good chance Barca are going to win. If Barca are going to win, who's going to win a dividend? Is it going to be Messi, Jordi Alba, Rakitic, De Jong? You can probably pick out who's going to do well for them, and then making a double match day prediction. Single match days are much easier, of course, especially if there's only one match, or maybe 2 or 3. You can predict maybe one, that team will probably win, so they'll have a winner. Will it be a midfielder, but or a striker, or what? I'm kind of digressing. So it's lovely, it's amazing. I've won a lot of treble match days already this year with the fantasy football squad strategy that we're running. But for me, the dividend increase has made the double match day the match day to have people for. If you're one of these people who scours through fixtures and looking at who's playing, who's top v bottom, and how many games have they got in the next 30 days and this kind of thing, the double match day is going to be the little cherry on the cake if you find double match days, because they, in terms of a gambling perspective, in terms of if you're going to change your portfolio every 2 months, 6 weeks, 10 weeks, something like that, and angle it towards fixture scheduling, the double match day is the one that is going to really, it's going to really make you the money if you're correct in your estimations and everything as well. Now, with the growth, so going back a little bit, I also had, right before they did the deposit bonus, I actually withdrew money for my MOT and everything like that. Then I realised I wasn't due for another couple of weeks, and then the announcement came in for the deposit bonus. So I had like £250 I'd already sold on my portfolio. I sold like all the Leipzig boys, like Sabitzer and Forsberg and whoever else I had. So I was able to just deposit that money back in and get 10% on it, which was lovely. And what I did with that is I flipped around a little bit. So we started off, we got Kramaric, okay? Now, I got Kramaric, and then as soon as I done it, I was a wee bit under the influence, if you don't mind me being honest with you. I got Kramaric, and then as soon as I bought him, I thought, see, for the time period that I'm going to be looking, I was just wanting to flip money around in 2-3 weeks and withdraw it again. I said, you know what, it's a bit of a wait, for him to actually raise in price the way I want him to, if I'm going to be withdrawing this money again in like 10 days. And so I bought him at 115, and then I think I quick sold him. No, 112 and 109. I think the numbers were 2 seconds. No, it was even less than that. We bought 100 Kramaric for 102, and then I quickly changed my mind because you can see the time. I bought him at 15.27, and then I quick sold him at 16.18 because I was just looking at it more and more. I thought, see, for the time, this money might not do anything, and there's a good chance that I could catch somebody on a wave. So I sold him, bought Cruz, as you can see there. So I bought 50 Cruz for that money, and then we sold Cruz for a bit of profit. I worked it out at the time. I've not got it close to hand. I was just eager to get back recording and just put a video out with tonight's announcement and get you up to speed with a few things. And then we withdrew the money after that. I think the deadline had been reached, and I thought the reason I bought Cruz is because I knew Real Madrid. I think the cutoff was the Monday was the last, like the Monday midnight, and then Tuesday that was phase 2 activated. Tuesday night Real Madrid were playing Champions League, so that's why I went for Kroos, because I thought, well, even if people do sell up after phase one, people are still going to want Kroos on the Tuesday because he's playing Champions League. It was against a crap team, was it Bruges or something? And I think he did pretty well actually. If memory serves me right. But if you look at the market and who it's booming towards, it's all dividend players, proven dividend winners. Now, the main thing I was kind of hoping for, so when the announcement came out, I had a couple of thoughts. My first one was the reason they're calling it a policy review makes me think it might be a bit of a red herring. They might just be maybe changing the deadline time, which they have, by the way. It's now 3 o'clock for IPDs. So it used to be 2 o'clock. And I thought maybe, they're just going to maybe change something quite basic. They don't want to give the market a massive buzz for a damp squid, so they're calling it a policy review. I also thought maybe it is going to be something really good, but they don't want too much artificial growth too quickly. So they'll call it something quite neutral, quite muted, like a dividend review, like they did, rather than just like the share split. They told us it's a share split. If they told us dividend increase, the market would have went nuts long ago. So they gave people as much time to speculate and guess and make best assumptions and spread rumours and whatever. And I've not been on Twitter too much, so I'm not saying that happened. It might not have. It probably did. But what we are missing is something for the strikers still, because if you look at in terms of the scoring and all this kind of thing as well, it's very difficult, and there is very few strikers. They've had a lot of position changes, and strikers are really, really difficult. So if you're happy with the thing about that as well, but is it does narrow the field, so you kind of you've got a better idea of knowing who's going to win dividends in that forward position, because there is if you actually search them, let's put forward in, right, out the top 200. So a lot of these guys you can see here. As you get further down, so all these guys aren't really dividend winners. Obviously, this page here is, except Odoi, Greenwood, no, Felix, no, Rashford, Tammy, Depay, Ronaldo, Haaland has potential, Mane, these are Griezmann, Werner, Mahrez, dividend winners, Nicolas Pepe last season, not this year, but there's not as much going on with the forward players in terms of number one price, point scoring, and actual variety of general, different types of forwards. All these guys are pretty much strikers. There's not too many. A lot of the winger players have now been reassigned into, no way Marco Asensio's listed as a forward. Jesus. That kind of thing. So I was hoping strikers would have got some extra bit of love. And again, if they did do something with strikers, it would maybe entice the market a bit more, because as a gambling product and goals, is what gets people's endorphins going and all that fun stuff. So I was a wee bit, it's a great announcement, but treble match days are always a gamble, so having 8 pence on that, if you're going to win one treble match day this season, that's not, how many what I'm trying to say is how many treble match days are you actually likely to win? Depending on the size of your portfolio and who you're holding. A lot of you guys, especially the ones I speak to, are always excited about the players that are under the radar, that aren't winning dividends, but they're at like a mid-level team and they're starting to get appearances. He's been linked to a transfer to that big top tier team, and that type of thing. So yeah, it's good. I'm really glad to be recording a video again tonight, guys. I'm really glad you have tuned in to watch it. It means so much to me. If you are new around here, like, share, subscribe, retweet, of course, all the stuff we normally ask for. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that I was going to touch on or update you on or whatever. Yeah, that was pretty much everything. I had a wee read over the article again just for the announcement. There was nothing really else to really update you on, guys, but it's a great time to be on the index. If you've had money here for a little while, honestly, you've joined at such a good time. We're getting into a great part of the season now where more people will be putting money into this, and just be safe, guys, okay? It is money. I've enjoyed not putting money into my index the last couple of weeks where I've not been recording. I've enjoyed withdrawing money from my index, and as you can see with the numbers I've got in my portfolio now, I'll be withdrawing £1,000 and I'll be withdrawing my bonus over the weekend, so I've really scaled back the portfolio, and I always like to do that even before I recorded videos after good periods of profit, because if you don't actually put money in your pocket, guys, at some point, and you might be happy to keep money away for ages, and that's brilliant. Not everyone's in that position, myself included. If I can withdraw £600, buy new tyres and brakes and put my MOT in, it doesn't actually affect my income or my day-to-day life, and I can go and treated myself to a few bits and pieces. I buy toys and some other stuff, football gear and whatever, then that's fantastic, so that's the last thing I wanted to just finish on, because I haven't been on here in a while. But you're playing your own game, just remember that as always, guys, okay? Like, share, subscribe, retweet. Thanks a lot, guys. Comment below. I'm looking forward to hear from you. What have I missed? Tell me. Take care. Bye bye.